All right, new program alert, nationwide down payment assistance program with no income limits. I'll tell you all the details about it. I'm excited. When there's new programs available with the dozens of different lenders I work with, I like to bring them to you. Remember that one specific program isn't right for everybody. What you need to do as a buyer, whether you're a first-time home buyer or you're buying your second or third home, is talk to a mortgage professional that has access to a lot of different programs, your credit score, your down payment funds, your price point. A lot of things factor into what program might be best for you. In today's video, I'm going to talk about down payment assistance, which for some people, the biggest hurdle to home ownership is saving a down payment. The thought of saving 5%, 10%, or 20% down for a home is something that feels a decade out for a lot of people. So if you've got great, stable employment, decent credit, and you're looking to get into home, stay tuned. I'm going to tell you about this new down payment assistance program. It's nationwide. It's from Kind Lending, really great lender. If you knew Stearns Lending, same owner, Glenn Stearns, who ended up selling Stearns Lending, got back into the mortgage game, started Kind Lending only about 4 or 5 years ago, but they're really innovative, moving fast, growing fast, and doing a lot of good things in the space. So I'm just going to share my screen, walk and talk through some of this stuff to give you guys an idea of what this new program is about. So this is my notes from today that I got literally announced today. Additional FHA DPA program with better pricing. This is the new program, the Kind National DPA 30-year fixed. You either get 3.5% down as that down payment assistance, which is the down payment on FHA loan, or you get 5% down, which covers the down payment plus some of the closing costs. Because if you've ever bought a house or if you ever talked to somebody who's educated you on this, it's not just the 3.5% down that you have to bring to closing. There's title fees, there's lender fees, they're prepaid, taxes and insurance. There's a lot of other fees that go into it. So 5% can pay most of those, and you can still get seller credits to cover it. So this is a true way to really get in a home with very little out of pocket. I won't go through every single line item here, but it's basically a program to help more people get into homes. There's different options. There's the 3.5% down, 10-year fully amortized second. So it's a second loan. It's assistance, but they're not giving it to you, right? You have to pay it back. The rate is the same as the first loan. So if the first is 7.25%, that 3.5% second is also going to be at 7.25%. And that, smaller amount, $400,000 loan. So let's call it $14,000 second is going to be amortized over 10 years. So whatever that payment ends up being, $150, $200, you're going to have that monthly payment, and that monthly payment is going to be included in your DTI when you go to qualify. Or the second option, same thing, but 5%. So your 3.5% down is covered, 1.5% of closing costs is covered. It's a second payment. You pay both payments, and they're both included in your debt to income ratio. Option 3, and I'm yet to get more information on this as people start to reach out to me. I start to take applications for this program. I'll get the information on how exactly the forgivable part works, but there's also a forgivable silent second that has 0% interest rate, no payment for the life on the loan. After 3 years, it gets completely forgiven. If the first is paid off, note due with payoff of first lien. That I'm assuming if you pay it off in those first 3 years before it gets forgiven. And then again, the 5% version of that same silent second. The thing that I would guess, since one of these is forgiven and one's not, my guess is that for the forgiven one comes with a higher interest rate. The fact that they're going to do a $400,000 purchase and give you this $14,000 down payment, they've got to collect a higher interest over the first 3 years that you're in it before it gets forgiven. Because, truth be told, there's no free lunch in this world. Okay, highlights of the program. This is something that I think is really interesting because a lot of these different programs, Cal HFA and others, there's always caveats. You got to be a first-time home buyer. You got to be under 80% area median income. You got to be in this certain census tract, whatever it is. Like this one is for everybody from what I'm reading. No first-time home buyer requirement, no income limit, no No investor review required. Like, this is Kind Lending's program, so they're going to underwrite the thing. 600 minimum score, which is pretty flexible. A lot of down payment assistance programs need 660, 680. This is down to 600. No max DTI with AUS approval. So it needs to have AUS approval, which is the automated system for this loan. FHA caps it at 56.99%. So there is a max DTI, but there's no other cap. Some DPAs say capped at 50 or capped at 45 because they want to be a little bit more stringent. Can't manually underwrite it, so it has to get an approved eligible in the system. You can do a 2-1 seller buy down, which I think is pretty cool, especially in this market where we're probably looking at buyers that are going to get seller concessions, and they'd love to spend that on a 2-1 buy down and do 5 1/4, 6 1/4, then 7 1/4. In the case of the fully forgivable one, like you only spend 1 year in the 7 1/4 before that is totally forgiven. And who knows, values might be such, rates might be as such that year 3 is the magic year to refinance. Non-occupant co-borrower allowed. Now, this is big too. A lot of programs, we're going to give you assistance. You can't have your rich uncle as a co-borrower on there to help you qualify, because this is assistance for people that don't have other options. Like this is the most flexible down payment assistance program I've seen in a long time. Single family, 2-unit, condo, and manufactured homes allowed. If I were to take a guess, manufactured home on a concrete foundation, land that's owned. You can't do this for mobile home financing and the such. So that is the recap on was this thing white the whole time? Where did it go? I don't think so, huh? All right. The screen went white on me. I don't know how much of this video was white. I don't know. One take, no edits. If it's just a white screen and I explained it and you weren't able to read along, the writing's pretty small anyway. I don't go back and edit these things. It's one take, no edits. You want to get a hold of me? greatmortgagebroker.com. We're more than happy to help. We're licensed in 48 states. This program is available nationwide. So everywhere but New York and Massachusetts. In those 2 states, I got great people to refer you to. Thanks for watching. Till next time, we gonna see.